What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to X-Plane 11. And we are here at Lester B. Pearson International Airport in Toronto, Canada. We're taking a short flight over to Boston Logan. Flight time is right at about an hour. I think it's like an hour and 1 minute according to SimBrief. So it should be a pretty short, fun flight. A little bit of traffic here. Looks like we do have some ATC online here at Toronto. Toronto Center is online, as well as I think Toronto Ground is on as well. Actually, no, Toronto Tower looks like is online. So we got everything filed already. We've got ATIS information. I've got the batteries and everything turned on the aircraft already. Fudge with the sound here real quick. Should be good. It's just actually that's the blower. Actually turn that off, and that'll help with the sound a little bit. So got everything turned on here. I'm gonna go ahead, well, let's actually load up fuel. I've got charts and everything pulled up already, so let's actually get our fuel loaded real quick. So we need 7142 for fuel. Set that, remove. Passengers 84 today. Light load. Set that. We can go ahead and close the door. Current fuel weight is 50.3. SimBrief wants us about 52.5. So we need to add about 2.2 kilos. So we'll do 4263. Remove those. 52.5, 52.5. That's pretty much on the money. So we should be good to go there. And I think we're taking 6 left out today. That's usually the appropriate runway. And let's take a look at our filed plan here real quick. So we're on the KEPTA 2, so let's go ahead and pull that up so we can brief it here shortly. KEPTA 2, perfect. Alright, cool. So we got external power. I will go ahead and turn our fuel pumps on. This thing is flashing at me to do this, so let's get our initialization done here real quick. So we are at CYYZ. We're going to Boston. I don't know why the sounds are doing that. It's kind of weird. And we just updated this airplane like today. They released an update a couple days ago, so they fixed some frame rate issues, I think. And they did some texturing and some sound updates. So we'll see how that is. I'm gonna go. What? Is that how that is now? Oh shit, what's my... so it may take a few minutes for that to align. Crap, I forgot that they updated that. Oh, it's aligned already. Okay. Yeah, fuck you. Cost index 6. Wow. Okay. It's a short flight, so I'm not really worried about it. 370. Cool. Let's grab our weights. That is loaded. Okay, so got the weights and everything input there, so we should be good there. Let's actually go back down here to our radios. Here we need to contact Tower 118.7 to grab our clearance. Connected there. Okay, so information delta is current. Let me try this down real quick. Kept it to our transition. I think it's Bempa. Unless they decide to change us. Toronto Tower, good afternoon. American 7488, request IFR to Boston, please, with information delta.
American 7488, Toronto Tower, good afternoon. You're clear to Boston by the Captain 2 departure. Bump transition, flight plan route. Departure runway 06 left, squawk 5510.
Right, clear to Boston Logan via the Captain 2 departure, bump and transition that is filed. We'll expect 06 left, and we're going to squawk 5510 for American 7488.
7488, read back to correct information, Delta is current. Mission to start your discretion and call for taxi.
Call for taxi 7488. Alright, let's grab our altimeter real quick, because I forgot to key that in. Altimeter, it's somewhere, 3006. Perfect. Alright, so we got everything that's filed, no changes from ATC, so let's go ahead and plug all this good stuff in here real quick. 06 left. Kept it 2. Bump a transition. Insert that. Alright, after bump up, we're going to go to Avon.
Ground control, good afternoon. November Yankee Charlie 74, Boeing 739 at gate 121. Requesting clearance IFR delivery to John F. Kennedy International, New York. Have information Delta.
That's quite the call then.
November Yankee Charlie 74, Toronto Tower, good afternoon. You're clear to New York, John F. Kennedy by the Captain 2 departure. Bump transition, flight plan route. Departure runway 06 left, squawk 5507.
To New York departure via Cat 2, squawk 5507, November Yankee Charlie 74.
Yankee Charlie 74, just confirm that squawk was 5506. 5506.
5506, November Yankee Charlie 74.
November Yankee Charlie 74, feedback is correct. Business side of discretion, call for taxi.
Alright, so pulling up Boston here, trying to anticipate our runway. So let's actually pull Boston's charts up real quick. So winds are coming at 1-3, so 1-5 right most likely is going to be our runway. So we'll plan for 1-5 rights. Go ILS, and it's the J Fund 2 arrival, honked, insert. Honked in there twice. That, clear the discontinuity. Alright, so everything should be good there. I'm going to keep that discontinuity in there. I may just... We'll figure that out. If Boston Center's online, they'll vector us in anyway, but keep that in there for now. Same with here. They're going to give us vectors out of here. Okay, so that is good to go. Let's go to our perf page here. Be up 1.6, so we're going to go flaps 1, up 1.6, we'll just flex 45 today, leave that blank, get our V speeds, that's pretty good there. Okay, so pre-flight is complete. Let's actually VG-132. Actually, that's a Hero Star, but not a Boeing. Okay, so it's climb via the city. Did not give me any altitude restrictions, rather, from our departure, so we're just going to follow the SID then. So why is this on ATC? Maintain 5,000. Okay, so 5,000 it is. Perfect. Like I said, they're going to vector us out of here, assuming they stay on. Okay. That looks good there. Parking brake is set. Alright, so pre-flight is completed. Let's go ahead and cut our APU on here. And APU bleeds. Wait for that to fire up. APU is available, so we can go ahead and cut off the ground power. Alright, so we are ready for push and start. So we should be pushing and facing right, I believe. Let's just double check that. Yeah, we're gonna go this way here.
Hello, delivery. Good afternoon. This is American 565 requesting IFR clearance to
ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
We're at gate 138, travel of 1. We have Delta.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Good afternoon. Clear to Chicago by the GoPro 2 departure. Hawk transition 500. Departure runway 06 left, walk 5503.
American 565 clear to Toronto to Chicago Air via flight plan. GoPro 2 departure. Squawk 5504. Departure will be from 06 left.
American 565, just confirm my squawk was 5503, 5503.
American 565, squawk 5503.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
American 565, we'll push back, call for taxi shift. Thank you.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, so they give us the okay to start engines. I'm actually going to do this. Switch that over, wait for the valves to open. Good to go. Start engine 2. What is that? Oh, fuck me. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why the levers are up like that. Okay, there we go. N2's rotating. are not BSS sounds, by the way. I'm on beta version right now of this plane, so there's a compatibility issue. That's why the sounds are a little bit different. Good start, engine 2. Go ahead and cut on engine number 1. Alright, into rising. On engine start. Apparently they check your license during engine start, that's why it lags, it's at least according to the developers.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Keep those down for now. Go ahead and cut the APU off. Turn the lights on. Set our auto brakes. Set that. We'll go flaps 1. Check this fucking plane. It's either they're buried in the ground like that, or they're floating like 20 feet above the ground. I hardly ever see airplanes that are actually like at a proper level.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Well, November Yankee Charlie 74, ready for taxi.
November Yankee Charlie 74, runway 06 left local altimeter 3006. Taxi via Alpha Foxtrot Bravo Delta cross 33 right, hold short 6 left.
Taxi via Alpha Foxtrot Bravo Delta cross 33 right, hold short 06 left for the Yankee Charlie 74.
Let's go ahead and test our flight controls. Flight controls are checked. And we need to grab our taxi clearance. Toronto Tower, American 7488 at Alpha Lima, ready for taxi 06 left.
American 7488 runway 06 left, local altimeter 3006. Taxi via Alpha Lima Bravo Delta cross 33 right, hold short 6.
Alright, taxi 06 left via Alpha Lima Bravo cross 33 right, hold short 06 left, 7488. So Alpha Lima Bravo. Does he want me to cross at Delta, I presume? Delta's the only way to get to 06 left. So I assume he wants me to go via Delta. suppose I should ask, because he didn't say anything and he didn't correct me on my readback. Toronto Tower, this is American 748. Just to confirm, you want me to cross 33 right at Delta?
748, 877 Alpha Delta, cross 33 right, hold short 6 left.
Alright, cross 33 right at Delta, and then we're short 06 left, 7048. Yes, there should be Bravo Delta. I don't think he said that before. I may not have heard it, but either way, we gotta figure it out. It's all that matters, so. Alrighty. Takeoff config is good.
Tower ground, American 565, ready to taxi to 06 left for departure.
American 565, runway 6 left, protocol altimeter 3006. February Alpha Lima Bravo Delta, cross 33 right, hold short 6 left.
American 565 to 06 left, higher Alpha Lima Bravo Delta, cross 33 right, hold short.
November Yankee Charlie 74, looks like you've turned onto Alpha there. When able, take your next right and immediate left back onto Bravo.
You mean my immediate right for Bravo? Maybe I have the wrong scenery.
November Yankee Charlie, you're currently on Alpha, so it's going to be your next right and immediate left. Bravo's just to your right.
Take the second right here.
I'm going to right, and we'll taxi via Bravo.
Other planes like in the fucking ground. Alright, take a right here on Delta. And we're gonna cross 33 right.
Approaching 3 right.
So loud. Alright, we should take this all the way to 06 left, and we're gonna hold short there. Tower, American 7488 is short 06 left, ready to go.
7488 service winds 130 at 9. Sorry, yes, correction, 130 at 9.
Approaching 06 left.
Runway 06 left, clear for takeoff, American 7488.
American 565 behind the departing company, American A320, line up and wait, runway 06 left.
Start the clock.
American 565 will line up and wait 06 left.
Company traffic behind us.
On runway 06 left.
Should we get lined up here? Alrighty, let's get the throttles up. About 40%. Close enough. Flex set. I hate the ground roll noise in this. You're up.
American 7488, Norfolk Ray PC available, minus unit on 122.8, see you later.
122.8, 7488, thanks for the ATC. Alrighty, so we have lost our ATC coverage. Let me... Okay.
American 565, service winds 130 at 9, close takeoff runway 06.
Lost.
American 565, clear for takeoff 06 left.
Let's go direct mobile. Alright, over to Unicom, 122.8, I guess Toronto Center got off. And flaps clean. Engine should be going up, thank you. I'll be damned, Toronto Center did get offline. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these sounds. BSS sounds better. I don't know how realistic these sounds are. That sounds alright. When you're behind the wing, you're going to hear more. So that sounds alright. Okay, that's better. It's the exterior sounds that are killing my eardrums. I do like departing out of Toronto, though. It's always a nice little departure. It's pretty easy to get out of, too, as far as just like SIDS and stuff like that. Lag. Don't know what all that is. Fantastic. I think I've tried pulling it up on here before. Right there. So, yeah, Boston doesn't have anybody on at the moment. So departure, and we're going to be going this way. The frame rates are definitely better right now. Like, it's definitely running smoother. This is probably the smoothest I've seen this aircraft run since it's come out. Because every other airplane that I have in this game usually runs anywhere between like 50 to 60 FPS, like easily. The Zebo, I regularly get 60, unless I'm just in like heavy duty scenery area or some orthos that come with some of the sceneries. Then you'll get like maybe 40 or 45, just depending on where you're at. But with this plane, I was getting like a static 30 for the longest time, which 30 still is pretty good. I wouldn't call it ideal though. I think 60 is ideal in my opinion. It just looks smoother. This is about 50 to 60 right now. If I pull up the frame rate counter. Yeah, it's hovering at about 47 to 50 right now, which is above average for what I usually get in this plane. Like when I look up at the top panel, I'm getting 60. Like when I go down like here, I get like 60, but then like, usually when you look outside is where it drops a little bit. But see, it's hovering 55, 60 right now. Like you can tell, like the panning is like buttery smooth, and before it was a little choppy. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I know that they, in the most recent update of this plane, they addressed some textures and stuff like that to make, and apparently it helped the frames a lot. That looks new though, this little thing right here. I don't know what that is. That's like a, you're supposed to have like a sunshade or something like that. I know that will come out. Yeah.
Altimeter setting.
Okay. I gotta cut my lights. Almost forgot. I'm distracted. So, definitely some performance improvements here for sure. And then like, when I go and look at like my GPU usage, I think it's actually down too. Let me pull it up right now though. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, so like 80%. Like before it was getting closer to like 90. It was almost at like a 95 a couple times, but it's right around that 80% mark. Which is, I mean, you wanna, it's a good and a bad thing. From what I read, you wanna have your GPU being fully used, but then like I'm concerned about temperatures and stuff like that. Like you don't want to overwork your graphics card. So bravo to Flight Factor for fixing that at least. Now if we can just get weather radar on here, that'd be the next step for me. Alright, so we are almost to cap to here. Top of climb is going to be this little blue mark here, so we're about 80 miles from our top of climb. We're on a pretty... We have about 2,000 feet a minute. Got a little bit of a tailwind helping us out too. So if it stays that way, we'll get to Boston obviously quicker. I updated some cloud textures, like this is, I mean, it's bullshit right there, but updated the watercolors too, so like the water's a little bit more realistic looking in certain areas. Updated the clouds though, because I was having FPS issues, and maybe not issues, but I just wanted to see some improvement. This is like a Lewis script that I'm running for the clouds, so it's definitely, I think it's helped. The clouds look a little softer, a little bit more realistic than the default clouds. But yeah, see, I changed the watercolor. The watercolor from altitude looks pretty darn good, in my opinion. It gets a little cartoony when you're in close, because like water usually isn't like that color unless you're like in the Caribbean or certain areas. Sometimes it's darker, but I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with like this, like the clouds. This is pretty cool. So just, this game is all about tweaking. It's all about tweaking stuff. It's all about, call it a game. It's not a game. This simulator, it's all about tweaking your adjustments, or tweaking your settings rather, and just finding what works best for your system. That way you're not like overworking your CPU or your GPU, but you want to get the most out of this game too. Like FPS is like a big thing in this game because of just like it's flying. You know, you want it to run smooth. You don't want it to be jaggedy or you know, you don't want image tearing or anything like that. So you want it to perform well. So you really gotta fiddle with settings and stuff to make it not only look right, but to run right as well. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Right in this game, like if you try to run everything on max, it's not gonna work. Like even like the best graphics cards really can't run this game at 60 FPS, 4K with max settings. Like, in my opinion, I don't think there's a computer in existence as far as that's available to consumers that can do that. So you have to make cuts in certain places to get it to run right. That's new. I don't know. I don't think that was there before. I think they messed with some of the windshield effects. Maybe that has something to do with it. And it's moving like that because of XP Realistic. So when I freeze XP Realistic, it stops doing that. I mean, it's not that distracting. Man, you gotta love VATSIM, man. Like, literally Toronto Center jumps off and then gets back on after we leave the airspace. I don't know if I'm just like the most unlucky pilot there is on these networks, but like it always seems like I'll log on and there'll be ATC on, because sometimes I plan my routes based on if there's ATC. And they'll be on, and like when I'm ready to like depart, like they'll get off. Or like I'll depart from an airport going into ATC coverage and they'll get off. Or when I depart from a certain area, they'll get on right after I leave their territory. So it's kind of, I know these guys are doing it for free. They're not getting paid to do it. So, I mean, it is what it is. A lot of them do post like schedules and stuff like that. So I guess I could look at shit like that. But it's just funny how that works. Like the moment I left the airspace, they got back on. It seems to be happening a lot to me lately. Maybe I'm just unlucky, or I don't know. It's funny though. So this is us right here. We're going right here. Boston Logan. So according to this, we've got about 40 minutes left. Now if the tailwind keeps up, which we have a direct tailwind right now, may reduce that time a little bit. But maybe that time's already got the tailwind worked in. I don't know. I don't know how VATSIM figures that stuff out. I think it's a different controller. I think they probably just switched out controllers. Let's see if I can land this thing properly today. Take a look at this. I may just go direct here to here, but it depends on. It's weird. Different sounds for different keys. It's funny. Yeah, the developers of this claim that the sounds are more realistic with their like default sounds. Obviously, BSS is widely regarded as some of the best sounds out there for a lot of their aircrafts. And I've read that BSS kind of exaggerates the sounds a little bit just so it sounds cooler, but it may not necessarily be as realistic. I don't know how true that is. I don't fly enough to really pay attention to the sounds, but from what I've heard, BSS does that, which I mean I like it. I love the way the BSS sound pack works in this plane. It just sucks that every time, because this plane gets updated like pretty often, like they're constantly pumping out updates. So anytime it pumps out an update and it's in beta mode, like it doesn't match up with BSS. So like if the versions are out of sync, then usually the BSS doesn't work and it reverts automatically back to the default sounds. But if you go to the stable version of this, then the BSS works, assuming that he follows the updates, which he's pretty good about. So I was reading like the notes on this update, and I saw there was FPS fixes, and they fixed a lot of that. People were saying that, oh, the FPS is a lot better, so I had to check it out. Been on kind of like a FPS vendetta lately, trying to get the game to run smoother. Should be in the US now. Yeah, we're at Cleveland Center right now, technically. So I believe we're across the border now. Let's go to JFK. What their rivals in Boston look like. It's just 9 arrivals. Washington. That's me. Heathrow. Lajes. I don't know where that is. Gatwick. Albany, that's gotta be like GA or something like that. Really want the Ultimates, the Zebo Ultimates 7.3 to get this up and running. Like they've got a computer or a screen, but they haven't updated it yet. That'll be really nice once that thing is fully developed and ready to go. Never get turbulence in this thing, I don't know. Let's be realistic. It's pretty minimal. So we are at our cruising altitude. Cut the seatbelts off. I think the top looks good. And top of descent's about right there, so we're looking at about 160 miles or so, give or take. Yeah, a little less than 160. I think it sounds alright from the cabin here. See what the weather in Boston's doing. Winds 13010, so we'll keep the same runway that we have planned. Significant weather. Visibility's good. Yep. Pretty good landing conditions. Let's try J-Fund 2 arrival. So 15 right is what we have planned. That is their longest runway. J-Fund 2, we're coming from over here. So I believe we want to go to Adams right here. And then we'll vector ourselves in. Let's see if that's what they have us on. Adams vectors. Then go over, that's the first waypoint for the runway arrival. So we could just do that direct. It should not be a problem. It's just pretty much straight in once we hit this right here. I would have flown Air Canada, but like the liveries aren't all up to date because they ran an update on this plane a few weeks ago, and they changed the way the fuselage looks a little bit. So like the liveries and the painting and everything was off. Like there was like a gray stripe that went around it because they resized some stuff. So only a few of the liveries got updated so far. Air Canada was not one of them. It's just we're flying American. I don't think a Delta has been updated either, because I would have either flown American or Delta, maybe United. Clouds look like ass right there. Every once in a while you'll get that, like it's part of the game. That guy's going 2-2 left. So this guy's going 2-2 left at Boston. That's not what the winds want you to do, man. This way. Maybe that's what he just has plugged in. I mean, he'll have, I believe, a crosswind. Yeah, I mean, the wind's coming. The wind's going like this way on him. So he'll have like almost a direct crosswind. I guess technically he could do that. But, I mean, the winds are at 130, so you'll have a better, it's just a better option to go 15. Some people I guess get lazy and they plug it into their FMC that way and they didn't check the weather before. He'll arrive there before me, I believe. I could just check his route, but fuck it, there's nothing else to do. See, he's American 2149. Oh, he's already there, basically. And I mean, he could just turn and go this way. But I guess he doesn't want to do that. Let's see. He's going to Boston, too. I wonder where he's going to land. It's just, I mean, the winds say 130 at 10, so really you should be landing on 15 unless the runway is closed. But this doesn't indicate that that runway is closed. There's no ATC to tell them where to go, so, I mean, he gets there before me, it's not going to be a problem. Unless they just don't use 15 for whatever reason, but I mean, I'm just going off what the winds tell me. I don't know what normal ops is for Boston, I guess. Let me see what they're doing in the real world. So, KBOS, flight, where? I gotta lock my up. Lock my damn thing up. Son of a bitch. Okay. Actually did look like they were landing on the 22s. From that brief glance that I got. Let's just go through here. Oh, I'm an idiot. Flight aware does cause issues sometimes, so let's see. They are landing north, actually, in real life. Northeast-ish, so because 15 is right here, is that little guy right there. They're landing in real life, so they're not going by what the winds are doing. Maybe that runway isn't used for normal operations, because I know, well, because I mean, okay, so Logan, so he's landing in literally the opposite direction of what they're doing in real life. I'm not trying to bash on this guy, but so like in real life they're landing on the 4s. But the winds right now are going 130, so the winds are doing like, either way I guess they're going to have almost a direct crosswind on either one of these runways, because the winds are basically coming from this direction, like it's going this way. So technically, if they're going to land on the 4s, then they should be... The 4s are technically a better option than the 22s. Because I know a lot of busier airports like to use parallel runways just for traffic, I guess. And just the single-use runways like this, like it doesn't mesh up very well, I guess. I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't know anything about ATC flows or anything like that, but I would imagine that like 2 runways are better than 1. So in real life, they're doing the 4s. But, I mean, it's VATSIM. It's not going to be... They're not going to mimic real-world stuff. I've seen it where there's ATC online and they still, like, assign different than what real-world does. But I know they try to do close. I'm going to stick with 15. Like, I don't really feel like changing. Unless there's just a huge conflict. Because I like having a direct headwind on landing. It just makes landing easier than having to deal with a crosswind. And the winds definitely favor what I'm doing, so. About 50 miles from our top of drop, so. I'm gonna plug in 3,000 feet. It's the clear shield. Boston Matar up. Alright, so winds 130 at 10, so let's... Actually, let's get our QNH first. It's... Where's the QNH? They don't have... Am I blind or they just don't have it? 299 or 6 is what this says, so I'm going to go with Boston, right? Okay, yeah, 299, I'm just going to go with that. I don't know why it's not updated, so... And then the winds are 130 at 10. Why did that QNH go away? That's weird. Temperature... Not the temps on here either. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. 24. Huh, that's really strange. And then we'll just do 300 feet for our decision altitude, decision height. He's on final, so we're nowhere near him. Okay, so that's all set there. That's good to go. Well, we're going to start to descent a little early. Is that real traffic or is that fake traffic? It is fake traffic. Departing from 22 right. It's I mean, I don't understand. Unless I'm just wrong. I'm like, in the real world, they're landing and departing on the 4s. I'm landing on the... I'm not going to land on an opposite runway of them. I mean, if I'm going to get crossed up with them, I'd rather be on a crossing runway. Ah, see, this guy gets it. 04 right. Dude, this is... Go ahead and call NTSB. Like... Me. See, if I say that, then I gotta change my approach. God damn it. KFJ, am I reading this? Oh, because that guy's at J... Oh, okay, let me just stop right now. This guy's at JFK. But that dude's on final KBOS 22 left. This dude's on final 04. You know, I just don't care at this point. Like, we're just gonna... I'm just gonna leave it alone. Oh, let's go ahead and start the descent. We are probably gonna have to put our speed brakes out. curious. Yeah, see, that makes more sense for JFK. Keep checking it because, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what these guys are looking at to determine their approaches. So now it's 10015. So now the 4s make even more sense. I'm still landing 15. I mean, whatever. In all honesty, I think technically 04 is the more proper runway. What do the charts say? Let me see here. Zero 04 is a pain in the ass to get to, though. I'm just gonna be lazy and stick with what I have. I don't know Boston ops that much, so I'm sure 15 maybe is just a cargo thing. I don't know. This wouldn't be, I don't think this is the proper arrival for that runway. I'd have to be on a different arrival. Because these arrivals favor the, like either landing south or the southeast approach, which is what I'm doing. Actually, let's see what VATSIM has as far as the traffic going in there. Yeah, there's no other traffic unless there's an arrival on the ground. Slow it down a little bit. at 210 by this mark here. We should hit that pretty easily. That slow. Localizer 110.7, course 149. Perfect. Double check that. Yep. Target with our VNav. Yes, that's the thing with this watercolor is that like normally like little lakes like that aren't gonna be that color. At least not that I'm aware of. So that's really the only drawback with that color. I mean, some of them are, I guess. I guess it depends on the type of lake you're talking about, but it looks really nice when that's like your ocean, like especially like when you're like taking off like Miami or like anything like in the Caribbean. It looks really cool when it's like that. Okay. The weather must have just updated. See, they're all going to 2-2 right, like... Are we just not checking the METARs? Like, I just don't understand. I think because they see one person going there, so everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna go there. The winds are still coming from 100 degrees, so... I don't know why they think 2-2 right is the right runway. I mean, 4 would make more sense. Like, you'd have a better, like, a more angled crosswind going, like, it'd be like a, like the crosswind would be going more facing towards you more. That's what I'm trying to say. Like 2-2, you've got like a tailwind almost. I don't get it. Again, in real life, I just think stuff like this bothers me. Looks like they're landing on the floors in real life. Unless I'm just not looking at it right. Maybe am I losing my mind? Yeah, in real life they're landing north. I don't know what... I don't know. Whatever, you know what, it's VATSIM, so... I'm just not gonna get worked up about it. Alright, coming up on 10,000 feet. Let's try to pay attention here, I guess. These winds get a little bit of a tailwind, it'll probably shift. Flip that on. Go flaps 1. Let's get us down a little bit quicker. right there. I'm coming in a little high. Guess we're on the localizer. Yeah, I think I should have intervened sooner. Let's see if I can figure this out. Worst case, I'll just go around. I still have this tailwind. What is with the winds right now? I'm gonna overspeed. I gotta reduce the drop. I'm gonna overspeed. Son of a bitch, dude. I can't get this approach stabilized. I'm coming in way too high. Okay, let's level off there. Let's make a turn. We're gonna come around and try it again. The path was too steep. And I knew that, and I didn't intervene quick enough. So we're just gonna do a quick turnaround. Level out at 5,000 feet. Pull our speed up here. We're gonna go 240 knots. No, I would have made that the runway. I was coming in way too high. Let me pull the flaps in. Clear that out. What I'll do is I'll go direct Wober once I'm far enough out. That's the field over there. I suck at giving myself vectors. Let's go 330. Let's reduce the speed to 10 knots. Will drop us to 4,000 feet. Sorry, 4,000. Alright, let's see if this is gonna work. Alright, I'm gonna rearm the localizer. there. They want us at about 3,000 there, so we should hit that without much issue. Let's go ahead and go flaps 1. Reduce to 180. Say they're at idle. Let's pull some speed brakes out here. Just want to make sure the speed's going to be right on this. No, don't you dare. Why is it doing that? Flaps 2. We can go ahead and activate approach mode. Let's do that. Flaps 3. Gear down. Speed brakes in. Flaps full. About 15 miles out. Coming in a little slow. I'd rather come in too slow than too hot. I don't want to have to do another try at it. So this will be a slow approach. It says I have a tailwind still. I don't know what the winds are doing. I know the weather should be up to date. I have it set to the real world. I don't know why it's being difficult. It's still 10015, so I don't know. Whatever. Should be hitting the localizer here pretty soon, hopefully. Probably went to approach mode a little early, but it's fine. Localizer's not. Fly this in manually. There it goes. Jesus. Localizers are funky. I guess it's right at Wilbur whenever it decides to kick in. So, okay, we've got our glide slope. There is the weather loading in. Apparently I still have a tailwind. So the winds in X-Plane aren't accurate because, like, KBOS Medtar is showing 100 at 10. This is at 275 at 9, so it's way off. Way off. Winds from the east. I'm going like almost south. So like the wind should be coming like this way-ish, like coming like this way. not. They're going literally the opposite direction. What the fuck? Where's the runway? Hold on. Dude, I'm not lined up at the runway. Son of a bitch. Is it gonna direct me that way? Like, that's the runway right there. But it says I'm... Okay, something's off. Alright. I have no idea what the fuck this game is doing right now. This is what we're gonna do. Take matters into our own hands, I guess. I do not understand why it's off like that. Right? Like, there's no other runway in sight. Like, that's a little runway right there. That's 1.5. I don't understand why. The frequency, we checked it. Like, it's definitely accurate. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing.
Approaching 1-5 right.
It's really weird. Unless it was like adjusting for the winds, I don't, like, I was way off the path, like way off. Let's get straight here.
100 above, 400. Minimum 300.
Landing. I didn't tell them I was landing. I just don't care right now.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 10, 5.
We bounced.
Alrighty. 5,000 feet remaining.
That landing. At this point, I don't give a fuck as long as they're on the ground. Just a disastrous approach as always. Okay, pull those in. Start up the APU. Taxi lights. Take a look at that landing here in a second. I don't know what the hell was going on. They had me like, I was gonna fly right into the tower if I didn't go in and adjust what was going on. I don't think they were correcting for the winds. I think the plane was off. Never a dull moment on my approaches. Can't ever just be clean. I think I flared a little late. Clear. Clear.
Approaching 04 right.
Just gonna pick a fucking gate this land. Park. It's just really weird how it was throwing me off course like that. I checked the nav radio, so I don't know where it was sending me, but there was definitely no runway where I was going. And it wasn't adjusting. Clear that way. Clear that way.
Approaching 04 left.
Just gonna pick one of these guys here. This is Mr. X's KBOS, by the way, so it's a nice freeware scenery. Although I don't think. Yeah, these are a little off. Breaking all kinds of rules here, just don't care at this point. Park brake on, kill the engines. Kill fuel pumps. Actually go ahead and go to ground power here. And cut the APU. And we'll call the door to open up. That'll open up. Christ, man. It's not one thing, it's another. And it's always on approach, too. Like, it's funny because when I fly, like, when I'm not recording, they usually go a lot smoother than that. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm just cursed. Alright. We can go ahead and disconnect from that disaster. Oh, yeah. Should probably flip these off. Let the passengers get off. Alright, so let's go watch the disaster. I think I was just distracted just by everything that was going on. It was a solid approach, and then I got a little high, and I just didn't flare on time. I think it's just what it came down to. I just approached a little too fast, and that's why I slammed it into the ground like I always do. So good there, good there. I just needed to flare more. Like, I just needed to flare. Like, wasn't that bad. Did I? That wasn't really a bounce. I guess that front wheel decided it wanted to lift up. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't a perfect landing by any means, but it wasn't, like, definitely wasn't my worst. Really wish they'd fix the sounds on these replays. It's annoying that you can't hear anything. slammed it down. I almost hit the marks, actually. It was actually a pretty solid approach. I don't know why the front wheel lifted up like that. I may have still been pulling back a little bit. It actually wasn't that bad of a landing, in my opinion. I'm not going to call it a butter landing, but at least I landed center line. Hey, I'll take it, man. I mean, man, I almost hit the marks, man. Like, that was right just a little bit before the marks, but I will take that, dude. Honestly. Yeah, just a touch before the marks. It's not my, I wouldn't say it's my best landing, but it's definitely better than some of the other shit that I put out. Alright, ladies and gents, well, that is pretty much going to do it for this flight here. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Nice short flight. Thank you, everybody, those that watched, and everybody have a great day.